If you've watched my channel, you would already know that I am not a fan of Y2K music. The overproduced pop, the overly processed vocals, and the recycled trends. But within the past 5 years, there has been a lot of great Y2K revival albums. So today I'm breaking down 4 major artists and their albums from the 2020s that pull off the Y2K revival right. Olivia Rodrigo's Sour is a solid pop punk revival album. It taps into that early 2000s Avril Lavigne and Paramore angst with a modern twist. But it's really her follow-up album Guts that really nails the Y2K feel. It leans harder into power pop, the production is tighter, the lyrics are sharper, and it feels more confident and cohesive overall. Compared to the flood of mediocre pop punk revival albums we've gotten in the past few years, Guts stands out as one of the best. It takes some of the better aspects of the Misery Business style of pop punk and adds a little bit more bite and self-awareness. Now let's talk Charli XCX. Crash isn't her best album, and I'd honestly argue that it's one of her weaker ones, but that's not really saying much because her discography is solid back to front. Crash really channels early 2000s club music. The slick electronic production, the Gwen Stefani inspired vocal stylings, the ultra radio friendly structures. It's less chaotic than her other hyperpop work and more about capturing this era's simplicity. Catchy hooks, big synths, light drama, and even though tracks like New Shapes and Good Ones lean heavily into 80s aesthetics, the crossover fits. The Y2K era was also obsessed with reviving the 80s as well. Now additionally, I'm going to throw BRAT into the mix. While it's not strictly Y2K, it borrows heavily from the late 2000s recession pop. Songs like Mean Girls and Club Classics sound like they were ripped straight from a Dr. Luke, Kesha, or early Gaga era. Bold synths, simple hooks, and bratty energy. And the album's neon green aesthetic, super in your face, and perfectly aligns with the Y2K's loud, maximalist fashion and digital culture. Next up, PinkPantheress might be the best example of Y2K revival done right. She doesn't sound like she's recreating the past. She sounds like someone who's influenced it and is building something new. Her 2023 album Heaven Knows taps into UK garage, jungle, and early 2000s electronica. It's floaty, emotional, and punchy. Her lyrics are sweet and minimal, but the production is layered and immersive. Her new project, Fancy That, leans even more into danceable, house-inspired beats, and she blends sugary vocals with bassy, radio-ready production in a way that feels effortless. Out of everyone on this list, PinkPantheress makes Y2K-inspired music that feels organic and not forced. It doesn't feel like cosplay or cashing in on a trend. It feels like organic evolution. Finally, for the last entry, this might be a curveball for some of you, but just try to hear me out. SZA's SOS has heavy Y2K R&B energy. The production is cool, smooth, and stripped back in a way that mirrors late 90s, early 2000s artists like Aliyah, Ashanti, and early Brandy. Songs like Snooze and Love Language sound like songs that could have dropped in 2003 and dominated radio. It's rich and vibey, but never overcomplicated. There's a cleanness to the mixes, a radio-friendly polish that resembles that early 2000s simplicity. SOS understands the assignment, makes something intimate and emotional that still sounds good blasting in a car with the windows down. So what defines the Y2K sound? Club bangers, pop punk anthems, radio-friendly R&B, music that's fun, simple, and a little bit loud but always catchy. Low barrier to entry, high replay value. It wasn't meant to be deep, it was meant to be danced to, screamed at concerts, and played on loop in a teenager's bedroom. And honestly, most of the albums I just listed are better than a lot of actual Y2K albums. They bring fun without the commercial filler, and they feel nostalgic but also offering something unique and authentic. So what do you think? Did I miss any good Y2K revival albums? Would you want to see a follow-up on the worst ones? I'm also thinking about making a video on the worst pop punk albums of this decade. So if you'd like to see that or any other videos, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, thank you for watching.